Cover it. Is it already starting?
It's already starting.
Hi, everybody. So the one thing I learned last week was that, like, this moment where it, like, captures you and it starts the video. Last week I was mortified. I, like, went ballistic afterwards because what it looked like I was saying in the frozen picture was not pretty. But I wasn't saying that. So you just never know. There's so much to learn with this stuff. And just so you know, it is mortifying. But I think it's really important to be able to share with the community some of the updates that I'm getting. And putting it in a long text message on Facebook or in an email doesn't seem to be enough. So I am willing to be vulnerable and share with you and make mistakes to the point where it's Good Friday. I'm at home. I'm still in my pajamas. It's 1:00 in the afternoon, and I've been working from here. And I, instead of getting all dressed up, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to show up. So here I am. This is my sitting room. This is where I do reading and meditation and prayer, and I try and start every day in a good space to be able to do what I can. So welcome, everybody. Last video I shared with you a few things. And just as a reminder, Congressman Snyder's put out on his website and his Facebook page just a lot of information. If you have questions on the package, the financial assistance that's going out for businesses and individuals, that is all there. Our state rep, no, not our state rep, our state's attorney, Mike Neerheim, wants to make sure everybody knows that the scams that are going on with trying to get people to purchase tests and do that, please be aware of all of the different scams and try not to get caught up in those. And then the third thing that I shared last week was make sure that if you cannot pay your bills, if you do not have income right now, call your creditors and let them know. They can't know. And I'm concerned that people are going to just take for granted that the creditors know and it's not a big deal. Just call and let them know. It's always the best practice. So we're in another week. It's Easter weekend, Passover for some of you, and it's tough. Yeah, it's the things that we're focused on at the township right now. The two top priorities are shelter and food. With food, I am so deeply grateful to Abiding Love Food Pantry for providing their continued resource of giving out food every Wednesday from 10 o'clock until 1 o'clock. They have a drive-up situation this week. As I was delivering Meals on Wheels, I drove by just at the time they were getting ready to start, and Pastor Ken Fielding was on the microphone and saying a prayer before they got started. And at the end he said, if you say amen, honk your horn. And everybody just honked their horns like crazy. It brought me to tears. It was just so incredible to see the community outpour and the need in the community, and how we're doing everything we can to make that need filled. So then the other food pantry that we have is North Point Church Food Pantry at 900 North Lewis Avenue, and they're every Monday from 1:30 until 6 p.m. and that's another drive-up situation, and just really grateful that they continue to stay open. The volunteers that are showing up to make sure that happens, ESDA that's been helping to make that happen. And then additionally, I shout out to Catholic Charities. We deliver Meals on Wheels at from Zion Township every single day. They have 4 different routes, and they continue to do all that they can to make sure that need gets filled. So number 1 was food. Second is shelter. Praying that everybody has a place to be. I know it's hard. I was on a call with a guy the other night who has his daughter and his grandkids with him, and he went slamming out of the house, and it's hard right now. It's just really, really hard for some people. And but the opposite is even harder, not having a place to be right now. Granted, the PADS was working with Warren Township. A huge shout out to Sue Simpson and Sue and Sulling and the other Warren Township employees that have been working really hard to address the homelessness situation in partnership with PADS. So PADS has now moved into trying to use different motels and things so that people can stay separate and safe. It's not it's not a great situation. There is limited resources, and so if at all possible, we pray that you can just hunker down, deal with the relationships. The Lake County Health Department has a hotline. If you're struggling, you need somebody to just talk to in this crisis time, you can reach out to them, and we'll post their phone numbers on our website. They're also on the COVID website, and if you are not familiar with that, lakecountyill.gov has a whole COVID site that says all of the numbers. It's got the maps, and just to share with you, where are we with this? If you have not heard specifically in Lake County, on March 27th, which was a week ago Monday, when my staff started working from home and this all launched, we had 222 cases in the county. So then last Friday, we had 608 cases, right? As of yesterday, because we don't get the numbers until about 5:30 tonight for the day, yesterday we had 1,124 cases. And just so you know, of those 1,124, they say 65 to 69 of those cases are in Zion. It's specifically in Zion. So it's here, and I pray that you will just stay home, stay in the best you can as we weather this time together. So those are the two main things we're focusing on: food and shelter. The second thing is just some of the other resources. If you're having trouble with a landlord, if you are a business, if you work for a company and they're making you work and you're having a really hard time with it because you're not in the 6-foot rule, I will place all of those. There's a few phone numbers I'll place on our website and on our Facebook page for you to be able to know who to call to report that and see what you can do. Then the third thing I want to share with you is when this breaks, right? So eventually we're going to get the phone call, and it is going to say, the governor has released it. People can go back to work. People can go back to their normal life. Well, there's no way to go back to normal because there's a number of people possibly that you haven't had income for 2 months. And now you've got your electric bill and your gas bill and your credit cards and your mortgage or your rent, your car payment, all of those due, and you can't make up that income. And granted, the $1,200 is going to help substantially for some people, but there's still that gap. So Zion Township, we help with emergency assistance for any Zion resident up to $400. Sorry about that. Up to $400. There's some stipulations with that, but we're doing our best to try and connect with other agencies and resources for the stipulations that we have that would disqualify a resident to be able to work with another partner to do that. When you come for the emergency assistance, before we allocate those funds, you have to go through a financial capabilities class. And you can sign up for that class and take it right now while you're at home. And so here's what I'm really hoping that you will come to Zion Township with, is literally a list of these are all of the bills that we owe, and this is how we're doing it, and this is the gap that we have. What has always happened in the past is people would come and sit down with our case manager, and the case manager would start that process with the person. And that in itself is probably a 30-minute conversation when you've never thought it through. We aren't going to have time for that extra work. We'll make it if we need to, but we would prefer you to have thought that through and bring that to our office. So we will put the link is on our homepage on our website for that financial capabilities class that you can sign up for. I believe it's on April 18th. And it's online, it's virtual. And so if you sign up and you take that class, then it will automatically set you up to be able to have us help you very quickly when this comes to pass. If that class fills up, I always get this wrong. Affordable Housing Community Partnerships for Affordable Housing. They are providing the programs for us. And they're doing the online class. And Adriana, our case manager, she actually took that class Wednesday night, and she learned a ton of stuff as well. So I encourage you, even if you're not, right, you don't have to need us for emergency assistance to take that class online. Zion Township sponsors that, and we have those classes twice a month. And I really hope that you will do that, kind of just get your mind and a frame of, okay, so how do I face this, right? First is the emotion, right? Just getting through the emotion. My son called the other day and he was a mess. He's in the same position as everybody else. He's lost his job. His girlfriend has lost her job. The landlord is willing to have them not pay rent, but they have a $15 a day late charge. I mean, it's crazy what people are going through. And so what we did is I let him cry. I just process it out. And he cried it out. And then I was like, okay, so here's the question. Like, where are you really? You know, what's the real situation? Can you write down what your real situation is and just list it out? And then, you know, make sure your taxes are filed so that you know that you're getting that money. And then check out any resources that are available in the town where you live. And I just spoke with him before the call, and things have turned around 1,000,000%. He's got a plan. They've got some things that they're doing. It just takes, but the first step is just let yourself feel it. Don't take it out on anybody else. Just feel it, get it out, be upset, give yourself a few days, and then stop. Okay, what's the reality here? All right. So I will be back once a week, every Friday, doing a Facebook Live. And creating a video to be able to share with you what's going on, what we're hearing. It's at least a few more weeks, you guys. This is not going to end quickly, but we'll do all we can. If you have a question, if you have a situation, call Zion Township. The phone number 847-872-2811. During normal work days, we're closed today for the holiday, but my staff is on the job, ready to help in any way we can. We're seeing clients virtually, anything that we can do. So that's all I got for today. I pray that you will take the weekend to just appreciate what you have, as little as it may be some days, and as much as it is some days. I delivered a meal to a senior the other day, and she was complaining about her hearing. She couldn't hear the doorbell and she couldn't get up because she's old. And I laughed and I said, you do know that you are where most of us dream of being someday, right? Because the truth of the matter is, if we live long enough, we're going to lose our hearing. It's going to be hard. It's just the part of the process, right? But what are the things that we do have to be grateful for? It's hard to look at it right now, but I think that's like the tiny window back into a little bit of sanity and for us to move through this together. So take care. Call Zion Township if you need anything. Bye-bye.